When I was a kid, I was a Boy Scout. Everything I know about camp cooking, I learned on a vintage Sterno stove. But one of the problems that comes along with Sterno stoves is that Sterno doesn't have a very high cooking temperature, which makes it difficult to purify water and cook certain foods. So I went and searched to find out if there was a way to get more cooking heat out of my Sterno, only to find out that decades ago, someone already thought of that when they created the Sterno Speed Cook Stove number 25 with the heat intensifier. I found this one as a new old stock on eBay. I really got lucky with this one because I found a bunch that people were very proud of. They were asking a lot of money for them, and they were all used. This one had an amazing price attached to it, and it was new old stock. It was still wrapped in the factory paper and still packaged up in its original box. So when I got it, I opened it up, and look at that. It still had a can of the original Sterno canned heat fuel in it. Surely, as old as this was probably not going to be any good. You see the little indentions in the bottom of the can. Those are designed specifically for this stove, and we're going to show you that in just a minute. So here's the stove with the heat intensifier on it. It's got little cutouts in the middle for setting the fuel inside, and then the heat intensifier sits on top of the can. And this, of course, is for snuffing out the flame. It also comes with an aluminum pot with butterfly handles. Now this one had a little bit of oxidation on it, on the pot itself and on the handles, but that was the only flaws that I could find with this entire kit. So I'm going to pop open the canned fuel and see what's inside. Turns out it was still there, although you could see where the gel and the denatured alcohol were separating. So after a quick test burn just to see if it's going to work, we found out that it's still a viable cooking fuel. Look at that blue flame. All right, so we're going to mount it up in the stove, and we're going to test this thing out. We're going to put a cup of water in the pan, set it on the stove, and see how long it takes to boil. Now, right now, we're not using the heat intensifier. We're simply using the fuel. And as you can see, the way that can burns, it burns all the way to the edge, and it gets its fuel from the air around it. And this is what limits its ability to get very hot. So we've got a timer set. See how long it takes to boil this cup of water. And right at about 2 minutes, 45 seconds, we achieved a boil. And you can see after it's warmed up how the flame burns a little harder. Now, the way the heat intensifier works is the area between the can and the intensifier pulls in air that feeds the flame. Instead of just having it come from the area surrounding it, it's actually actively pulling air in through that gap and then funneling it up through the chute of the heat intensifier, giving you a hotter flame. How much hotter? We're going to find out. We're going to put another cup of water on and see how long it takes. You can see it's kind of coming around the edge of the pot there. This one's burning a lot more intensely, and the flames are going out wider. So at 2 minutes and 21 seconds, it's not a substantial difference, but you got to think exponentially. If we were boiling more water, that this would definitely take some time off of the boil time. But look at that flame. That thing is burning like a jet engine. there is definitely a more intense heat coming off of this thing. So what do you think? Is that a cool little invention? The guys at Sterno have really come up with some cool stuff over the years, and this may be one of my favorites. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and always remember to prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. We'll see you next time.